All right, welcome everyone here to XCal Racing. 100 likes on Facebook. Racing here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway with the Street Stocks. Should be a pretty good race. Got a lot of guys out here. It looks like we're going to have a full field, so it should be fun. I think the guys are really going to have a blast out here watching these guys turn a few laps. And pretty fun out here. Some guys got some good paint jobs on their cars, some don't. We're going to update the trading paints right now and make sure we do have good paints. So it might be a little jerky here for a minute till all these paints get updated. But I'd like to thank you for joining us here tonight on Twitch, and I hope you enjoy the show. My name's Rudy Cummings from MaxSpeedTV here. I do broadcast and commentate 7 nights a week here on Twitch. If you're just joining me here, make sure you click that follow button underneath the viewing screen so you can follow us on all of our events that we do every night. I broadcast for a lot of leagues, mostly all league races, and even some special events. So you can head over to our website at MaxSpeedTV.com and check out our schedule there and see who we're broadcasting for and check out the prices. Kind of booked up right now. Like I said, broadcasting 7 nights a week. If you have a late night race or something like that you'd want broadcasted, I could probably do that. I do 2 on Friday nights, and for a while I was doing 2 on Sunday nights, but now it's kind of moved. We're doing 1 on Sunday morning and then 1 on Sunday night, so it kind of gives me a little break in between to kind of regroup. But anyhow, glad you're following us here and hope you enjoy the show. So stay tuned. We got coming down here to about 12 minutes till they take the grid. Michael Cozy giving us a little wave there on the line to let us know we are on his roof cam here, following him around. Just letting us know he knows that we're watching him. So good luck out there to you, Michael, tonight. Good job. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's like Boost Mobile. Yeah.
Okay, coming down to a little under 5 minutes here till they do take the grid. So stay tuned here with us, folks. Let's watch them take some fast laps around this this beautiful 1.5 facility, 1.5 mile, facility here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. As we see them wrecking. That's kind of unusual for these guys. They do run around each other a lot. So this is not like this is not normal for them to run like that. So they're kind of goofing around here, I think, a little bit, but we'll see these guys get back out here. we will update Trading Paints one more time to make sure we do have anybody else that might have come in late here get their paints updated for them. These guys spend a lot of time painting their cars, and some of them are just downright beautiful. As you'll see here, some of these cars tonight, they spend a lot of time doing this. And, you know, they're very proud of the work that they do. So, you know, we definitely want to make sure that their paints are being portrayed out here the correct way tonight. So, apologize for the cars turning white. Just take a couple minutes here and everything will be ready to rock and roll for the night, hopefully. Find your favorite driver, follow them through the race. Pick the one you think might bring it home here tonight for the big win. I believe they're giving out $100 here to the winner tonight, so this is going to be pretty beneficial to somebody that's going to walk away here, the winner. And we'll try to get a word in with them at the end of the night. Coming down here to 30 seconds till they take the grid. So we're going to get up here and watch as they get ready to come around. I believe they do have to qualify. I'm sorry. We will try to pick a driver and follow them through qualifying. I don't know if it'll be your favorite driver or not, but you guys in Twitch chat there, see if you can't, maybe amongst yourselves, pick a winner. See who you think might bring this home for the win here tonight. 200 laps they're going to be running at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the street stock. Alright, so they're going to be taking here 15 minutes open qualifying. So we will try to stay on this. I think they may have a short little meeting. It looks like some of the guys are rolling off now. Nope, no meeting. I'm sorry, my fault. But we'll try to follow along here and see who can bring this in for the top spot here for the qualifying tonight. coming down to the 10-minute mark here, left in qualifying. We're seeing some pretty fast guys out here. Spencer Preet, Michael Cozy out here on the top spots, first and second. And Morgan comes in with another top spot, so well, let's get up here to him. And Dustin Adams takes it back away from him. And now Spencer Preet takes it back away from him. So these guys just shuffling this around, picking up a few hundredths of a second each and every lap. So we'll try to stay here on the pole sitter, whoever it may be. But make sure y'all pick your favorite driver here tonight. This is going to be a lot of fun. Pretty full field here tonight. Couple things that the drivers are going to have to watch out for. Pit road entrance. Boy, it's a toughie. Coming around at a turn, actually you got to think about dropping down in turn 3 sometimes if you're in a lot of traffic, to get yourself out of the traffic mode and get that thing slowed down, not to slide it or get slowed down enough to enter pit road. Pit road speed 45 miles an hour. So they're going to have to go from about 100 and, well, I'm not exactly sure what they are going now. 146, 147, probably upwards close to 150 mile an hour in the draft. And as they're coming around here, going to have to slow that thing down to 45 miles an hour to enter pit road. Green flag pit stops, one of my favorite things to watch out for, because it becomes all about the driver out here. These guys put a lot of time and effort into practicing their pit road entrance, pit road stops, making sure if they only want to take 2 tires, 4 tires, how much fuel they want to take. I'm not sure if they've got a shortened fuel load on these cars. Aaron and the guys have kind of threw a couple specialty things in here, the weather and other things, so don't know all that. That's all up to the knowledge of the drivers out there. I'm just going to say that. I'm not a driver, so I don't know. Spencer Preet back up in the front again, as these guys have mixed it up. Everybody trying to get a little bit of drafting help off of each other. Very important. We may see a 2-car tandem here. We did in a race that I covered earlier in the season for XCal, that the leaders got right out there pushing each other and pulled away from the field. So we may see that here tonight. Don't really know for sure how the car is going to handle for these guys, so I really can't say. I was just going to say the 006 of Spencer Burns there, not to be confused with the 007. A lot of good drivers out here. These guys really showing their stuff here tonight. We've got they opened it up to the public, and this should be pretty interesting. They had a couple qualifying races earlier this evening. One I believe at 3 Eastern, one at 5 Eastern, which I did not cover, and took the best of the best out here, and they're going to throw them all together in this. And I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty good race. I talked to Aaron earlier here, I don't know, maybe like an hour ago, and he said that he expects it to be a pretty good field out here tonight. So I hopefully we're really going to see some good racing put on by these guys out here tonight. Three minutes till they take the grid here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, so stay tuned, folks. This is going to be fun. Get yourself something to drink, something to munch on, get you a bag of popcorn or a bowl of popcorn or however much popcorn you want to eat. Get you something to drink and sit down and relax here. I'll do all the work. You just enjoy the show here. This is what I get paid to do. I love it. Hello?
Rudy, you there?
Yes.
Alright, yeah, we got some guys that are going to be EOL'd at the start for unsafe pit exit and qualifying and causing hazard.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
Alright, thank you, sir. Appreciate that very much. Thank you for the info.
No problem. Did you want me to stay down here and do that, or are you gonna just do the broadcast like you normally do?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna leave that up to you, Houston. If you want to stay here with me, and but the only thing is, if you talk to anybody on the track, you might want to use a different button to talk on the track than you do in here.
Yeah, I've got one set up.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's not a problem.
Alright, because I figured there may be a lot of cautions, and I know you probably need something to talk about.
Yeah, and it'd be nice to have somebody here to let me know exactly what happened. I try to review them the best that I can, and sometimes I miss things, you know, and if you've seen something that I haven't, maybe that'll be a big help, or if I see something you haven't, maybe that'll help you, you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll stay in here, and I'm gonna go tell Aaron what I'm gonna do, and
Okay.
I'll communicate with them over in game and talk to you on here.
All right, roger that. Thank you.
All right. No problem.
Buddy left your channel.
All right, qualifying is coming to an end here. It looks like Spencer Preet going to be on the pole,
Buddy joined your
taking the qualifying order. Spencer Preet for the pole. Very cool. As he takes it down, you make sure that grass is mowed in the front stretch there. Got to keep that grass mowed up so it's nice and short. I don't think the crew got out there today to mow that grass, so he just took care of that for him and got that mowed down. Good job. All right, so that does end qualifying here. And let's get down here trackside. And we're going to try to get... we'll try to get a good view in here on our drivers. We're going to pull up the qualifying order. Spencer Preet on the pole in the number 27 with a 36.369. Cristiano de Sa, I think is how you say that, in the number 222, starting on the outside of him. In third place, the 03 of Richard Holiday. In fourth, the 454 of Luke Turpin. In fifth, the number 8 of Joshua Morgan. In sixth, the number 38 of Cody Griffin. In seventh, the number 5 of Derek Colson. In eighth, the number 75 of Alex Crapser. In ninth, not on the grid yet, Sam Clark starting in the 35. In 10th, the 88 of Michael Cozy. In 11th, not on the grid yet, the 36 of Brent Pezel, I think it is pronounced. In 12th, the number 13 of Dustin Adams. In 13th, the number 19 of Aaron Hillebush, not on the grid yet. In 14th, the number 14 of Blake Barney. In 15th, the number 37 of Kyle Vincent Gilbert. In 16th, the 006 of Spencer Burns. In 17th, the 99 of Corey Connor. In 18th, the number 3 of Philip Rowe. In 19th, the 89 of Daniel Smallwood. In 20th, Ryan Borges starting in the number 32. Travis Brown starting in 21st in the number 33. In 22nd, the 01 of Dylan Rowe. In 23rd, the 31 of Kirk Mills. In 24th, the number 4 of Christopher Shella. In 25th, the 55 of Christopher Moody. In 26th, the 83 of Robert Thomas. In 27th, the number 2 of Paul Coleman Jr. In 28th, the number 26 of James Lehman. In 29th, Aaron Keith starting in the 44. In 30th, the 51 of Russell Bishop. In 31st, the 43 of Justin Egan. In 32nd, the number 12 of Mark Arthur. In 33rd, the number 1 of William Karp. 34th, the 07 of Kyle Streichars. In 35th, the number 02 of Bill Hotz, I think. In 36th, the 45 of John Swanson. In 37th, the number 6 of Brian Bateman. In 38th, Lance Johnson in the 25. 39th, not on the grid. Hudson Hammer running in the 177, starting 40th. Chris DeJong in 41st. Brandon Cruz in 42nd. 43rd is Jared Simcoe. All right, and it looks like the last two did not grid, so let's get back up here to our pole setter, Spencer Preet. As they're getting ready here to bring this thing around to get ready to drop the green flag. So we're going to get out here to watch these guys take the green. Green flag is out. Here we go. Give me 1 minute here to get some stuff laid out, and we're going to follow here on the leader, Richard Holiday, as he leads them around to take lap 1. Side by side, these guys really putting the power to them. They are having a little bit of a challenge here tonight with the cars. They've made their own setup here, and this is what they're going to run, I guess. For this race. Pretty good setup. The guys are saying it's very racy, very comfortable, and looks like they're having a lot of fun out here. Side by side, look like too wide coming through the front stretch here. That's Derek Colson and Michael Cozy on the outside in the number 88. Michael getting shuffled back a little bit. I don't think that worries him too awful much. Michael, pretty tough customer out here. You'll see him get back up into the hunt here. These guys, oh, we've got a caution. Well, looks like Derek Colson may have gotten taken out on that. So that will bring out the first caution of the race. Let's go back and take a look at that. Some cars really getting shuffled around here. And it looks like Derek might have come up on somebody here, and the 38 kind of sticking his nose in there a little bit. These guys dancing around. It looks like Michael Cozy might have been pushing the 38 and kind of maybe hooked the back bumper of him and pushed him up into the number 5. But that's just the way I see it. I'm not an admin. That's just the way I see it. All right, so first caution of the day, and I believe we're going to see, Derek Colson coming down on pit road, wanting to get tires changed after that slide. But let's get back up here to our leader, Richard Holiday, now still leading in the first spot here. Taking up the second spot, Luke Turpin. Derek Colson going to go clear back to the 42nd place. All right, first caution out on lap 4, so these guys are going to have to start figuring these things out and being a little more careful. And if they're going to make it the rest of the way, they have no resets, just like in real life. They don't get no resets in real life. You can't just pull in the pit and drive out with a new car. So you get damage on your car, you got to sit in pit and get that thing fixed up. And these guys don't want to do that. Believe me, there's nothing worse to one of these drivers than to have to sit on pit road for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes trying to get damage fixed up when the race is going on and you're many, many laps down. Nothing more heartfelt than that, I can tell you that. Been there and done that. So pretty good sized field here. Like I said, about 42 drivers out here tonight. And man, I'm telling you what, these guys are all really putting on a great show here. And I think you're going to see this, we're going to see a green flag run here probably before too much longer. And I think you're going to be really surprised at how much fun these guys can have out here. All right, lights are off on the pace car, and we're going to be going back green flag racing this time by, folks, so stay tuned. make sure you got your drink in your hand and you're ready for this, because this is going to get good. The XCal Racing 100 likes on Facebook race here tonight. 200 laps. Great race. Pretty cool. They got 100 likes on Facebook. You can look them up there, XCal Racing on Facebook, and make sure you like their page.
Yeah, Rudy, and the more likes we get equals more of these races that pay out a big bucks here. And they're all fun like this. We had a Halloween event back in October that paid out a bunch to a bunch of different categories. It was very fun. It was different, a lot of fog, and we just do some fun things.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, not too many people put on big events like this, and it's really cool, you know, that you guys are doing this, and looks like a lot of fun. Kind of makes me wish like I was out there racing with them. All right, they're coming down here. Pace car's going to duck onto pit road. Halliday brings them to the line. They have to wait for the green. And green flag flies, and here they go. Off and running, Turpin on the high side. Joshua Morgan right behind Holiday, pushing the daylights out of him. Michael Cozy right there in fourth, trying to get a little shoving action going of his own. Let's ride along here with Michael Cozy as he brings up we're trying to work it up through here. Got a car on the inside, the number 8 there of Joshua Morgan. These guys go side by side coming off of turn 4. Coming to the line here. Let's see where Michael Cozy's going to bring us in fourth or third. He does kind of have a fender on him. These guys side by side all the way back through this field. A lot of cars. They're way back there in the turn, coming off of turn 2, and these guys are almost going into turn 3 already. So that just goes to show you how far these fields can get strung out. Some of the guys kind of like want to lay back a little bit and don't get caught up in the cautions. And some guys may be out here with a setup that just quite isn't fast enough to hang up here with these leaders. So they're kind of in the back, and they will get lapped, but they can get their laps back and, you know, work them back in there. Great racing so far here as Michael Cozy now in fourth position. Richard Halliday still out front. Has led every lap so far. Cozy looking to the inside of the number 8, 3 wide through the quad oval, excuse me, quad oval, it's not a tri-oval. Michael Cozy working over the number 8, the 8 stuck up on that high side, can't get back down to the line. Cozy comes out of the turn up ahead. Well, let's go back in the field back here and check on a couple drivers. Dylan Rowe back here running in the 12th position. In the number 01, we've got some cars up on the high side there. It looks like the number 19. Not sure what's going on with him. He's kind of staying out of the groove. That would be Aaron Hillebush. And getting it back up to speed, but he falls all the way back to the 18th position. I didn't see what happened there with Aaron, but maybe by design he might be just kind of cruising back there, wanting to lay back a little bit. I've watched him in many races do that and be there for the win when it comes to the end, so we'll kind of keep an eye on Aaron and see how he does. Maybe that's a little bit of a strategy move on his part. These drivers are thinking all the time about different strategies, so you know, my hat's off to them. You know, when you're out there and you're turning laps as fast as they're turning and trying to deal with all that they're dealing with out there, amongst other drivers and stuff, that they're actually thinking about pit strategy, tires, fuel, around other drivers. You know, there's a lot for them to think about. Luke Turpin there running into 5th spot in the 454. Now let's get back up here because we've got a pass for the lead as Michael Cozy is going to take over the lead from Richard Halliday. Did I say Halliday? I meant Holiday. Excuse me. Now Holiday getting passed up by the number 8 of Joshua Morgan, trying to work him over, but can't do it this time. Michael Cozy trying to stay down so he keeps him off of his tail so they don't get that draft. Good job by these guys. Now we're kind of into a little bit of a green flag run. We can settle back a little bit. Well, let's go back and check on the guy in 14th spot back here, Christopher Moody, doing a pretty good job in the pack here. They're still too wide back here. Haven't got strung out single file yet, so a lot of good racing going on between these guys. The 006 right there trying to stick it in there, 3 wide, shooting the gap up the middle. And we're seeing a lot of 3 wide in that pack right there. The 006 still up the middle, hasn't been able to get clear of anybody. And let's take a look here. Spencer Burns does get by everybody and rolls that thing up into the 13th position now. Everybody's starting to get settled in, finally finding their groove, and starting to feel a little bit better about things. All right, let's go back here. Hudson Hammer, or Houston Hammer, I'll get it right. Houston Hammer back here in 34th position.
Yeah, Rudy, I'm back here just riding around trying to see what's going on, see how many cautions we're going to have, see how other people are racing, and I know how much this setup can do. It can take it 3 wide if the people around you can hold their line, but that's pretty much anywhere. It's overall a great setup. It just pushes a lot, likes to bottom out. I think once the tire pressures get up, it'll be great for racing.
Roger that. Thank you, sir. All right, looks like Aaron Keith right ahead of Houston Hammer. We missed one there. Sorry. I think we got past already. Paul Coleman. There's Aaron Keith running in the 33rd spot. So these guys are starting to cross the line here and pick up a few positions now and then. And that's the kind of racing that you're going to see here. These guys are going to try to race the track for a while. And that's what a racer's out here thinking about. You've got to race the track, get some of these laps chewed down. We're only on lap 17 out of 200. So definitely going to be a long haul for these drivers. Getting in the groove, staying in the groove, and making sure you keep that car intact. All 4 corners of that car got to be intact coming the end of this race when you may be battling somebody for the win. All right, another side-by-side battle going on here amongst these guys. We got Phillip Rowe down here in the number 3. Battling side by side. These guys trying to hug that low line a little bit, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't really handle all that well down there on that low line. The number 3 still staying out ahead of this group. See a little bit of tire smoke here and there. Some guys slipping and sliding, so definitely going to have to watch these guys falling back through. Lance Johnson, let's go back here. Lance Johnson got a little loose that time, caught the apron, and did almost lose it. So great job saving it by Lance. Another one I wanted to check on, Ryan Borges here running in the 12th position. Looks like Ryan may be having a tough time here hanging on to the back of this field, back of this group that's running together right here. He's kind of falling back a little bit, almost losing the draft.
Rudy, right now it sounds like some of these guys are getting hot and heated about the racing up there, about the 3 wide and not giving people room. That's what I'm hearing over driver's chat right now. I think they're getting a little irritated.
Well, I'm seeing Spencer Burns, or the 006, kind of got shuffled out to the outside a little bit as they went 3 wide. So I can see a lot of this happening up in the front of the field.
I know, I think Michael Cozy's a little irritated right now with somebody. I don't know who, but I don't know what happened. So
yeah, we've got a new leader up front now, Kyle Gilbert. And in second, Richard Holliday. Back up front, Joshua Morgan in third, Blake Barney in fourth. Dustin Adams, one of the good drivers out here. I've been watching him. He did really well in practice and in qualifying. So here he is running in the 5th spot. Luke Turpin now back to 6th. Michael Cozy in 7th. And boy, I'll tell you, he's got to keep that thing off of that apron. And he's got a pretty tough customer there, Philip Rowe, giving him a little bit of trouble. They go side by side down the backstretch going into turn 3 here. And it looks like Michael Cozy does have that line. Philip Rowe rides way up the hill, and that's going to open the door for the 006 of Spencer Burns to stick his nose in there and get by him. So Philip Rowe going to get freight trained here by a group of them if he's not careful.
I'll tell you, Rudy, I was watching Dustin Adams in that first practice race earlier today, and he's quick. He had about a 3 or 4 second lead by himself out there, so that's a guy you need to keep your eye on throughout this race.
Oh yeah, definitely, yes. All right, back here in 21st position, John Swanson in another pack here of cars, and I think that pack is being led by Lance Johnson right at the moment. He's up here in the number 25, leading this group around. And they look like they're having a good time up here, just racing around each other, and caution does fly.
We got a wrecking trouble.
The 02 of Bill Hotz, and a bunch of them coming around in behind him. So we will go back here and check and see what happened to Bill.
I was coming up out of 40 and saw a bunch of smoke and cars cutting across the track in Charlesville. Didn't know what was going on. Checked up and looked like a lane field out there. I had to maneuver so much trash.
Oh, Sam Clark taking it 3 wide on the inside, bumping the 1, and the 1 hitting the 02. So it looks like Sam Clark may have been, not saying he was the fault of it, but taking it 3 wide there. And it looks like he is going to come out of it the worst on that, because he hits the outside wall a ton. All right, so there's caution number 2 on lap 25. As you see the 02 taking a heck of a ride on the inside here. Man, I'm telling you, guys everywhere around this track. And Bill bringing that car down on pit road here to see if he can get some of that damage fixed up. Back up front here, Richard Holliday still leading them as he got back by, I think he got back by Gilbert there. Yeah, Gilbert back in 3rd, so we missed that pass there, focusing on that wreck. So, but Joshua Morgan going to be 2nd, Gilbert back to 3rd, Barney in 4th, Dustin Adams 5th. Turpin going to be 6th, Philip Rowe in 7th, and Ryan Borges 8th, Lance Johnson 9th, Travis Brown your top 10. All right, let's see if we can get down here and get a word in with one of these drivers. We'll tell you what we'll do. We'll pick one out here. How about Christopher Moody? Running in the 13th position here in the number 55. Let's see if we can get down here and get a word in with him. Christopher, wait a minute. Christopher Moody, this is Rudy Cummings in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, Rudy.
Christopher, how's the racing going, and how's your car feeling for you tonight, buddy?
Oh man, so far this is a blast. Running 3 wide, high lines coming in. I mean, it's crazy right now. The car's actually running pretty decent up high, but if you get down low, you want to smoke the right front. Just want to eat it up.
Well, how's the respect by some of the other drivers going on track? Because we're hearing some conflicting things up here in the booth, but you know, I don't want to draw any conclusions to anything. I don't want to point the fingers. How's the respect for everybody out there?
Right now, it's pretty much a little bit of give or take. I mean, just you got to be patient. You got 200 laps to go, and it's still a long race to go.
Yeah, that was my next question. The patience. You know, like you said, long race here tonight. Patience has got to be something that the guys are going to have to get a grip on the patience. Tire wear. That's my next question. Tire wear. How's your tires reacting out here tonight?
Actually, I probably won't know that till the next pit stop. I'm just basically just riding around up high, trying to find a good groove to make a move toward the end.
All right, Christopher. Well, thanks for talking with us, and good luck tonight, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Rudy.
All right, so saying that it's actually a lot of fun out there. So you know, hopefully the guys that's what it's going to be all about. These guys you gotta keep the fun in it to have a good time. And you know, if it's not fun, you might as well take up checkers. Throw the racing wheel out the window and take up checkers. All right, looks like we've got a couple guys that have taken their car behind pit wall tonight. Corey Connor, Bill Hotz, and Sam Clark, I believe, may have taken their cars behind pit wall. All right, well, lights are off on the pace car, and we're heading here back to green flag racing. So stay tuned, folks. Get ready for some more excitement. All right, Richard bringing him out of turn 4 here. Pace car's going to duck off in just a minute. And we're going back to green flag racing, folks, so hang on to your seats. I know I'm hanging on to mine because I'm excited. Pace car ducks off. Holiday brings him to the line. Green flag flies, and Holiday takes right off, shifting through the gears. Right there in second, the 37 of Gilbert trying to stay right with Holiday. Those two were battling it out earlier. Joshua Morgan up on the high side in the number 8. And Blake Barney coming up on the inside of him. So these guys all battling for the lead up here. Great side-by-side battle. Blake Barney now up on the inside of the number 8. Let's see how he's going to fare with that coming out of the turn. And he looks like he does beat him. Well, he ain't quite completed it yet, but comes through the tri-oval here. Quad oval. Dustin Adams right in 5th, right there hanging on, waiting to see what these guys are going to do. Up on the high side, though, he's way up high, and caution does fly here once again. Looks like William Karp may have got caught into that, so let's take a look here. We'll go back and follow him and see what happens to poor William. Really high coming out of turn 4. Looks like he just didn't turn it. and it kind of wads them up right here. The 38 and the 26 getting into it. Kind of unfortunate for all these guys getting into it. The 26 of James Lehman. All right, so caution comes out for these guys here getting up into the fence. All right, we'll get back up to our leader, Richard Holiday. These guys have not come down pit road yet, and might be a little while before we do see them come down pit road.
I think a run here is about 80 laps, so it's going to be a little while, but depending on the tires, I hadn't really made a run here, so I don't know how the tires are going to handle or fall off or anything. But looking at the pressures, he's got 19 pounds on the right rear and 20 on the right front, so I assume they're going to drop off pretty quick here in a little while. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, we may see a little slipping and sliding as these tires start falling off, so these guys are going to have to make sure that they do understand that, you know, once they start, they're going to have to lift coming out of the turns or going into the turns, so they're going to have to make sure that they do that to make it a good, safe race here.
Definitely.
And it looks like there's lots of action going on pit road. Let's go down here and take a look at pit road and see what's happening down there, if I can find it. Quite a few guys on pit road. Some guys sitting there getting some damage fixed up, which is, you know, good thing. Got to make sure you get that damage fixed up on them cars, so they don't. They're pretty tough to drive when they got a lot of damage on them. You get the toe knocked out on them by hitting a wall or bumping somebody, and they're just too tough to handle out here. And especially if this is a little bit of a funky setup, not too bad, but I mean enough to where it makes you got to drive the car in order to get it around here. And if your steering's messed up, hard to drive, very hard to drive. All right, well, looks like Holiday going to be restarting in first, Gilbert second, Barney third, Joshua Morgan fourth, Dustin Adams fifth, Philip Rowe sixth, Lance Johnson seventh, Luke Turpin in eighth, Christopher Moody ninth, Ryan Borges rounding out your top 10.
And Rudy, in talking about this setup, going through the Trioval is a handful, and it's very seldom you say that about a car here at Charlotte.
Yeah.
But going into the corners, it's like a dump truck. It doesn't want to turn in center at all.
Oh boy.
It's crazy how they got this thing set up. But it's given for some great racing, and I love it.
Yeah, you definitely you got to drive the car instead of just flat-footing it around here. You got to lift a little bit in the turns to make sure you're not pushing up the hill into the other drivers, and so that's you know, that's pretty cool. I like that. Very good idea.
And his idea behind it was to get everybody off that white line that we see so much in these official races. He was tired of it and decided, hey, let's see if we can make people pass on the outside. Let's give them some kind of restrictor plate racing at Charlotte in the street stocks. Let's see what happens when I do this. And this is what we got.
Absolutely. Great idea. Well, I'd like to give a shout out to Aaron's dad. He's supposed to be watching here tonight. Hope you get to feeling better there, buddy, and you know, get well soon. You know, it's a tough thing when you're in the hospital with an illness or, you know, with some health issues, and you know, I know I'm getting up there in years. Y'all don't want to know how old I am. I'm an old timer, but I enjoy doing this, and I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the show, and you know, just hope you get better. All right, the lights are off on the pace car. Everybody is getting doubled up here, getting caught up to the field, making their last. Few of them making their last minute pit stops. Looks like we've still got a couple on pit road. Mark Arthur on pit road. I believe maybe that's the only one on pit road right at the moment. we've got a couple guys a lap down. Derek Colson, Brent Pezel, and Robert Thomas all lap down.
Rudy, while we're going green right here, Aaron Keith has some family watching, and he wanted me to tell him hello for him. And thanks for watching. Thanks for coming out and watching him race tonight.
All right. Good deal. Thank you, sir. All right, coming out of the turn here, getting ready to go green flag racing again. Pace car ducks off. Richard Holiday brings him to the line. Waiting on that green flag. And green, green, green. They're off and running here again at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Side by side, these guys continue to go side by side to 37 of Gilbert. Takes it way up high. Gonna lose a couple of spots on that as they go 3 wide right behind our leader. Blake Barney now up to the 2nd position. Coming right behind him in the number 3. That would be Philip Rowe on the inside of the number 8 of Joshua Morgan. And Gilbert going all the way back to 6th position and losing more spots as we speak. Turpin up to the 5th position. Gilbert in 6th, now dives it down underneath him, trying to get a run on Turpin. And it looks like he may have it coming out of the turn. Not completed that pass yet as they still go side by side. These guys all behind him just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with these guys. They're kind of holding up the field, these guys side by side. Let's get up to the front here because it looks like our leader, Holiday, here. Oh, I believe we may have a new leader. Blake Barney going to take over the lead. Caution does fly again. And it looks like we've got some cars into the wall here. The 89 of Daniel Smallwood. We'll get back up here and take a look and see what happened to Daniel.
That was a pretty big wreck there. I was watching them. I knew something was coming, and I'm glad I didn't have those Arca brakes on.
As he does get a little squirrely right there in the quad oval. And it looked like the wreck happened up in front of him. It looks like the number 51. Let's go up here and see the number 51 of Russell Bishop. And he goes for one heck of a ride right there. Well, let's go back here and take a look at that again because, boy, that looked bad. Looked like he may have got a little bump there in the rear from the 01. And there it is right there. He did get a hook from the 01, and that puts both of them up into the wall. And several of them going to get into it as well. The 06 into it. As Russell goes for a heck of a ride. Oh, man, he's going to have a headache after that one. All right, so Russell Bishop tore up from the floor up on that one, man. I'm telling you, Blake Barney's still up in the lead. As we'll watch and see if anybody does come down on pit road. Looks like the only one, let's see, out of all these leaders, I'm going to take a look here. The top 10 have still not been down on pit road. So that's interesting. These guys staying out here for track position mainly, what they want to stay out here for. Holiday going to be second, Philip Rowe third, Joshua Morgan fourth, Gilbert going to be fifth, Dustin Adams sixth, Lance Johnson seventh, Christopher Moody up to eighth, Ryan Borges ninth, and Travis Brown your top 10. And none of them 10 have been on pit road yet. Lap 40 out of 200. Still got 160 laps to go here.
And at the moment, Rudy, it sounds like race control is making the 6 car come back in and get that thing repaired before he pulls it back out on the track.
Alrighty. It looks like 30, oh man, what is it, 38, 37 cars still out on the track. 38 cars, excuse me.
You know, I noticed earlier that that's still a lot of cars out here with only 40 laps into this thing.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I'm surprised more of them aren't out of it.
Pretty good. Out of 42 cars that started, 39 still in it now. Showing quite a few of them 1 or more laps down. Dylan Rowe a lap down, Brian Bateman a lap down, Russell Bishop 2 laps down, Bill Hotz 10 laps down, and Mark Arthur 10 laps down. So, but quite a few of these guys still on pit road.
Yeah, but you know, it really shows a lot for this league.
Oh, sure.
This being a public event, I mean, I would expect all these guys to back out.
Sure thing.
But it looks like Aaron's keeping them in here somehow, and it's looking good.
Well, it's that grand prize at the end, I think.
I think that may have a little something to do with it.
Yeah, just a little. All right, Blake Barney bringing them around and coming down the backstretch here. When we go into turn 3, these guys are going to start getting it tightened up. You know, tighten this field up and get ready to go back to green flag racing. Going to take lap 42 when they get the green flag. So we'll have 158 laps to go, if I got my math correct. All right, coming out of turn 4 here, pace car going to duck onto pit road, and it does. Blake Barney going to lead him to the line. Halliday on the outside. Green flag flies, and here we go. We're off and rolling here again at Charlotte. Pretty good restart. Halliday trying to stick right with Blake Barney up front there. Blake had a great restart on that. Looks like the number 3 right there, Philip Rowe, taking a peek on the inside. He's blinking a little bit here and there. He does get a run on the inside. So, and it looks like Richard Holiday is going to go right along with them. Blake Barney going to be stuck up on this high side and can't get back down into the race groove. Joshua Morgan right there in 4th, waiting to see what's going to happen up front. As you can look back through the field and see a lot of 2 and 3 wide going on back there. Makes for very exciting racing here at Excal. New leader up front, Philip Rowe, looking back on these guys. And boy, I'll tell you what, these guys are really pushing it. You can hear them lifting off the throttle going into the turn because they're going to have to do that. Blake Barney's still not giving way to Richard Holiday on that outside, being a pretty tough customer. And I'm telling you, man, these guys bumping fenders here and there. Oh, and Blake Barney up into the wall coming off of turn 4, and that knocked the toe right out of that thing, I can tell you. He finally gets it back down to the inside, but boy, I'll tell you, he is going to have some steering problems with that now. Blake Barney going back to 5th, and we've got some tire smoke up ahead. Looks like Holiday might have got into something there, as he's going backwards real fast. Richard Holiday going back to the 8th position there after not sure exactly what happened to him. Oh, 12th position, excuse me. Losing a ton of positions. And it looked like he may have just gotten caught on a bumper or something there. I'm not really sure. Vincent Gilbert back up here in 2nd spot. Him and
what I think happened to Richard was he clipped the apron and got a little sideways, and it dropped him back.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was hearing over race chatter, and I wasn't positive, but after he said it, I was positive and figured I'd go ahead and tell you that.
Thank you. All right, well, looks like Lance Johnson there in the 25. Looks like he is pushing Blake Barney a little bit and trying to get him out past the rest of them cars. Let's ride along with Lance here and see what he's seeing here. The side-by-side racing, just wow, man, this is intense right here. Gilbert on the high side there in the 37. These guys being really careful not to hit that grass. You catch that grass and it does kind of knock your momentum out just a little bit. Lance Johnson giving Blake Barney just a little bump there. Now they're going 3 wide down the backstretch for a second. There's Lance Johnson looking on the inside of Blake Barney, and up on the high side, the number 32 there, Ryan Borges. Blake Barney now kind of getting shuffled back a little bit. Michael Cozy back up into the hunt of things. Back up here in 5th position. Now he's getting right on the back bumper of Lance Johnson, trying to push Lance up there a little bit.
Rudy, I'm hearing that you were absolutely right about Blake Barney. He's got some damage, and he's up there holding some people back from getting into the throttle when they need to.
Yeah, I kind of figured he's got his toe knocked out on that car, and it's definitely it looks like he's having a handful steering in that thing. And a lot of people are getting by him.
Since this new deal, these things are hard to damage too. You got to hit that wall pretty solid to get these things knocked out now.
Well, he hit the wall pretty hard there in turn 4. I got to say, man, that was one tough lick. Philip Rowe now out front. And he is starting to pull away from the field. He's got about a 1.4 second lead over second place Kyle Gilbert. I'll get that out. Looking back to the rest of the field, Philip Rowe just setting sail out here. Now 1.8 seconds out in front. Ryan Borges moving into the 2nd spot. We're going to get back here and check on Ryan Borges, as he does get by Michael Cozy. Ryan Borges moves into the second spot. So, all right, these guys here, he's pulling this whole pack around. They're chasing Philip Rowe, and Philip is just pulling away 2.1 second lead over Ryan Borges right now. But a lot of side-by-side racing going on yet back in this field. As you can see, Lance Johnson coming up on the inside there of the 45 of John Swanson. John Swanson and Lance Johnson. But, man, wow, that's a mouthful. Oh, and the 37 catches the apron. The 37 of Gilbert there caught the apron, and boy, I'll tell you what, that was a great save he did right there. He kind of caught the nose of the 45 just a little bit there, John Swanson, and it did kind of wiggled him a little bit coming out of the turn, so he loses that position to him. So, you know, the good thing about it, or the bad thing about it, I should say, Philip Rowe being out there in the front, he doesn't get much camera time because there's no battling going on. It's always from second on back. These guys are battling it really tough. But they have reeled him back in now as Michael Cozy takes over the second spot. And they're up to, or I should say down to about 1.7 seconds behind Philip Rowe now. So they have caught him back up by about 3 or 4 tenths. And they'll continue to keep reeling him in because they have somebody to draft with. He has nobody out there. He's just out in clean air all by himself. But I'm sure that clean air really does help the handling on these cars versus being in the aero push that are around these cars. The 37 of Kyle Gilbert now gets back by Swanson to take over that 4th position. So let's go on back through the field here a little bit. Holiday mired back in the field here, back in 8th position. Got Travis Brown up on his high side. Those two side by side still battling it. Lance Johnson now kind of taken up with Travis Brown on the high side. Holiday may be getting hooked up here with the number 13 of Dustin Adams. Dustin Adams, one to keep an eye on out here. Dustin back in 8th position. Now Holiday got a great run here to get by Lance Johnson with a little help from Dustin Adams. All right, let's go back in the field here a little bit further. Travis Brown there in the 33. Spencer Preet now finally getting that thing back up into the mix. That was our pole sitter in the number 27. Here he is mired back in 10th place. And really kind of looking like he might be trying to take it 3 wide here, coming through the quad oval. But I think he thinks better of it. Joshua Morgan, excuse me, in the 12th position back here in the number 8. Started 5th, but running back in 8th. Let's go back through Christopher Moody in 13th. Blake Barney now clear back in 14th position and getting passed up by the 43 of Justin Egan. He gets a little bump and run there from Justin coming off of turn 4. And Justin kind of ducks it back in behind him. I think he kind of lifted a little bit. And Luke Turpin back in 17th position. James Lehman in 18th. Aaron Hillebush mired way back in 19th position in the number 19. I wonder if that's by design. I wonder if he's got that figured out. 19 car running in 19th position. Could be. Coming to lap 60 here out of 200, folks. So, boys, stay right here with us. Don't seat because you're seeing some great racing by these guys here tonight at Charlotte in the street stocks. Kyle Streichars in 20th position. Let's go back a little bit further. Derek Colson After getting caught up in a couple of them wrecks, has got this thing back up to 21st. He might be struggling with a little bit of aero damage on that car. William Karp now in 22nd. Robert Thomas in 23rd. Chris DeJong in 24th, it looks like. 25th, Aaron Keith. And Houston Hammer back here, 26th. It looks like he does get a run on the 41 car, and I believe he's going to clear him. And he does. Yes, he does. All right, let's get back up here to our leader, Philip Rowe. He ain't got much camera time, but these guys have reeled him in now. They're back 1.4 seconds behind our leader. So they are really reeling him in. Philip Rowe now leading here, has led 20 laps. Not the most yet. Holiday's led 23. So let's take a look real quick here. We've had 4 cautions, 7 different lead changes. Coming by here to finish lap 62, take lap 63. Philip Rowe still out in the lead. Michael Cozy second. And they are really starting to reel him in, 1.3 seconds behind him. But boy, Philip is just on a rail out here tonight, not clean air. John Swanson in second. Back there, Kyle Vincent in third. Ryan Borges now back to fourth. And right on his tail, Dustin Adams. And it looks like they may have a battle going on side by side here. As Dustin Adams trying to stay on his inside to take that position away. Well, let's watch him going through into turn 1 here and see if he can clear him. Can't quite get it done yet. A 45 there of John Swanson, way off of the pace. May have got into a little bumping battle going on up in the front there, and is going to lose that position and lose a couple more here. Swanson going back to the 6th place. And clear back to Spencer Preet. Let's go back to Spencer Preet. He's running in the 7th place, leading this second pack around. And these guys here are really battling hard back here in this position. See Travis Brown giving him a little bump in the rear there going into the turn, but when you get into the turn, you've definitely got to back off of them. You can't be bumping them in turns or you will hook them or yourself. So these guys know this going into the turn. Holiday back here a little ways back. Looks like he is running in the 9th place right behind Spencer Preet there. Oh, we've got a slide job going on there. I heard a lot of sliding and some tires. So, don't know what that was, what I heard. That sounded like somebody back here is doing some sliding. I think that might have been Holiday. Because he is losing positions like crazy right now. And all it takes is a little slip like that and you can lose it. So now he's battling back on the outside. But boy, he lost a bunch of positions there. He's clear back into 15th place now. Let's get up here the Cristiano running in the 222. Now coming up on the inside here of the 14th of Barney. Them guys battling side by side. Haven't given up. Boy, Barney's still pretty strong out there. Even though he got that toe knocked out, he's still pretty tough. Let's go back here. Derek Colson. I was kind of watching him after he got a lot of damage on that one wreck. Here he is running back into 21st position. As these guys 2 by 2 by 2 back here in this position here, boy, I'm telling you what, these guys are really having a good time battling here. A 6-pack going around there together. The 454 there of Luke Turpin now leading them guys around. Well, let's get back up front here and see what's going on. Travis Brown tailing Spencer Preet, giving him a little love tap there. Caution does fly. Oh, we've got Lance Johnson into something there. Well, let's take a look. Oh, and he gets hooked by the 22 or 222 there and puts him right into the wall. Ah, that was tough. And then he catches Richard Holiday. So those two go for a spin down the backstretch here going into turn 3. So tough luck for these guys. They'll get it back out there though. Probably going to have to go down pit road and maybe get a little bit of that damage fixed up. But we got a new leader out front here, John Swanson. And it looks like we've got a bunch of them maybe coming down pit road. Some of them be there for their very first time today.
Yeah, let's get into the end of that run, Rudy. Everybody's thinking gas now, trying to figure out how much they need to make it to the end.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely we'll have to make one more pit stop after this to make it the, the full length. And these cars take forever to put fuel in. You'll see 4-tire pit stops, 2-tire pit stops, and the guy's sitting there the whole time getting the fuel put in these things. And it just takes forever for him to get fuel put in them. You see some of these guys here sitting here 22 seconds, 13, 38 seconds. There's a lot, man, a lot of long pit stops here.
Yeah, I had 15 gallons left in my car, and I was filling it up to 22, and it took me a minute to get off pit road. I'm just now pulling out my pit stall.
Yeah, that's just like way too long. That's an eternity on pit road.
It is, man. I tell you, I don't know. I'm wondering how long these stops are in real life.
Really?
But, most people probably don't even know why I'm in this thing, Rudy, with you in the booth, and don't know what I do for XCal, but pretty much I'm just an admin, and I run these races, and tonight they threw up this special event and decided to run it and help explain to Rudy what's going on in some of these cautions and black flag situations, but there really haven't been that many tonight, surprisingly.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because, everybody just dreads that pacing around here. Uh-oh, what happened? I got something happened there. Something popped up behind me. Uh-oh. There we go. I don't know what that was. Something popped up right over the screen here. It was like a web page. That was freezing. Whoopsie. Sorry about that. All right, John Swanson leading them around here. Looks like Luke Turpin is going to be second. Cristiano de Sa, I think is how you pronounce that, or say, I'm not sure, say or saw. Going to be third. Paul